Hey, what is up guys? It is Silver Sun here, and today I'm going to be giving you guys my thoughts on Regular Show. Alright, so I know I'm a little late to this as the whole series finale pretty much ended about a few weeks ago as of the recording of this video, but I just wanted to give my thoughts on it, tell you guys what I thought of the show and whatnot, and to be honest, I wouldn't call myself a major fan. I haven't watched every episode, but when it first began, I really did like the episodes and the show's overall tone. I believe there were at least two new shows airing around the time that this show came out. It was this one, obviously, and Adventure Time. And while Adventure Time, at least to me, had like this like really loopy and silly kind of cartoony feel to it. Like Regular Show did have that, but I just felt like it had a little bit more of an edge to Adventure Time, at least in the dialogue. You know, like to me, it sounded like, you know, the two characters, Mordecai and Rigby, were pretty good friends and whatnot, and they just sound, I don't know, like just the stuff they said and whatnot just like made me laugh and just like kind of reminded me of myself and like my friends and whatnot. You know, the overall premise of them like working at this park and being adults and whatnot, you know, doing all sorts of silly and wacky stuff. You know, I thought it was pretty cool the way they did it. It felt edgier to me just because, like, at least in the first season's first couple episodes and whatnot, they were like cursing and whatnot. Not like major cursing, of course, but like just mild stuff like crap and whatnot and stuff. I thought, I don't know, like just hearing that, like back then at least, just sounded kind of cool, you know, and it like kind of like, you know, kind of not drove in that fact, but like just, you know, let you know that, you know, these characters aren't like, you know, like kids like, say for example Gumball and Darwin or Finn and Jake, or you know, whatever duo and whatnot from other cartoons and whatnot. You know, these guys were like in their 20s and whatnot, yet they still had that kind of like, you know, childish mentality to them. Not like SpongeBob kind of like childish, but like to like I'd say probably like, well, maybe Rigby a little bit, but like for the most part they just seem kind of like either like adults or just like teenagers, like not really like, you know, like too silly and whatnot, at least not from what I've seen. And from what I've seen, I think this show is really good in my opinion. No, I really haven't seen much. I think I stopped when they showed Exit 9B, that episode, and if you ask me, I think that's where, well, probably not that's where the series should have ended, but that whole like ending to the actual episode and whatnot, with the whole like fight between like all their past villains and whatnot, I thought that was pretty epic, and I think that's how they really should have ended the series, instead of this whole like odd Pops versus anti-Pops type thing. Like, I don't know, like I never saw the season 8 or whatever. I know that's when they went into space and whatnot, and there was a little bit of controversy there and whatnot, you know. I mean, I'm not sure, I didn't really watch the season except for the last episode, but I was honestly lost, and I probably should have watched at least a little bit of the other seasons, but you know, stuff happens. But as far as the series finale goes, I thought it ended alright, pretty good, you know, Pops versus anti-Pops and whatnot. You know, we get to see lots of other stuff happen and whatnot, and the ending was good. I don't mind it. It was pretty well done and whatnot. I don't know, like I'm just like a little confused about the whole like prophecy thing that they had, you know, with this character like Pops of all people in this show, you know, getting the spotlight here and whatnot. I mean, not to say that he doesn't deserve it or anything like that, I'm just saying like it's just strange in my opinion, but then again, when isn't this show strange? But pretty much, you know, they had like that big fight at the end and whatnot, which was pretty kind of emotional, you know, Pops, spoiler alert, he died and whatnot. And I don't know, like if you ask me, I say epic in my opinion. Like I remember when Gravity Falls was ending and they said, oh, they were going to kill off a main character and whatnot. Well, obviously, I mean, if it's not going to be Bill, then who else would it be and whatnot. Like I thought they were going to like kill like Stanley or someone like that. But then obviously, like if that had happened, then, you know, I mean, in a way, like it would have been more detrimental, obviously, because, you know, the main characters are kids and whatnot. Like, I don't know. The more and more I think about it, I really do like the setup they got here. How most of the main characters are adults and whatnot. Sure, sometimes they don't really act like it, but still, I just kind of like you can see, you can tell, that these characters are like kind of developed and whatnot. At least by the end and whatnot. Like, I mean, obviously, a death in this show isn't really like. I mean, it's a big deal, obviously, but it's like they can kind of handle it a little bit better, as characters and such. Um, but like in other shows like Gravity Falls, Dipper and Mabel, them being kids and whatnot, obviously they wouldn't really be able to cope with something like that, and I don't think too many of the fans would either. But I like the overall feel of this show. Like it's just like a laid back kind of chill show. Like the kind of show you would watch like after school with your buddies or something like that. Which is what I would do sometimes and whatnot. But like I don't know, like they would like reference all these old songs and whatnot, and like all this like um kind of retro stuff and whatnot, like video games and all that stuff. All these old video games that they would play on the show and whatnot. All the pixelated graphics on the TV and whatnot. I don't know. I just thought it was pretty cool. My favorite character, I don't know. I'd probably have to say Mordecai, maybe, just because like he just seems like some guy you'd meet in real life, like just some guy you'd meet like in high school or so somewhere. Like he seems like a pretty chill character, pretty rational when he thinks and whatnot, pretty cool and such. I also kind of liked how they had like the little love triangle thing going on with Margaret and CJ and whatnot. I did see CJ a little bit. I don't know, just like to see what was up and whatnot, because some people were creating a little bit of a buzz between that and whatnot. I mean, in the end, it really doesn't matter to me, because I wasn't really there for the whole, breakup thing and whatnot going on with that and such. But I don't know, like, I saw he got together with this, like, bat person, this bat creature and whatnot. I don't know, I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day. But as far as like all the other character goes, I thought they were pretty solid. I'm pretty sure they got enough development and whatnot by the end and such. Benson was pretty funny. He definitely was funny. He was like Squidward, but like times two. You know what I mean? Like really grouchy and just like overall angry and whatnot. I really liked it when that one episode. I forgot what it was called. It was that episode where he got really mad and like the park was like about to be destroyed and whatnot, and he just like got really ticked off by the end, and Mordecai and Rigby were like deaf because he was yelling at them like so much and whatnot. I also remember that episode. I forgot what it was called again, but I do remember these episodes where they went to this party, Benson, Mordecai and Rigby and whatnot, and they had like peppers and stuff like that, and they started hallucinating by the end and whatnot. I thought that was kind of funny. I I also saw the Halloween specials and whatnot. I thought those were really cool, like how they had those little stories set up and whatnot, spaced out and whatnot and stuff, and they would have like it like yearly and whatnot. I thought that was pretty cool and stuff like that. Kind of reminds me of like a classic kind of spooky storybook you would read or something like that. Other than Mordecai and Rigby, I thought the other characters were pretty cool. Like Skips, he was kind of cool with the whole immortality thing going on with him and whatnot. And in a way, that kind of does suck because, like, he's going to be living on forever, as, like, all the other characters grow up and whatnot. Even by, like, the series finale, he was just still there, not looking like a day older than when we first saw him in the first episode and whatnot. Muscle Man was alright. He just seems kind of like that annoying, like, fat guy that, like, you, like, kind of like that dorky kind of, like, fat kid that you see like in the hallways at school or whatever. I don't know, like he wasn't that annoying. He was alright. He had his moments and whatnot, but like I don't know, he was just kind of funny overall and whatnot. High Five Goes was there with him for a majority of the time. I guess he was okay. I'm sure he got more development as the seasons went on, but I didn't really see it too much. But he was pretty cool and whatnot. Pops was alright, really silly, really childlike, kind of like SpongeBob, if I had to compare him to anyone. Margaret and Eileen, they were pretty good, I guess. I don't know, like Sure, Mordecai didn't really get with Margaret, but I thought it was kind of cool. And I don't know, I felt like it was gonna be obvious, since she was first introduced that Rigby and her would kind of get together and whatnot. But I think it was pretty cool how they ended it off with them getting married and like, having all the characters, do what they're doing and whatnot. Having I forgot what season it was, but I remember when they made Exit 9B and whatnot, and they introduced that character Thomas and whatnot. From what I heard, he was like a Russian spy near the end and whatnot, so that didn't really pan out too well. But when he was first introduced and whatnot, I thought it'd be kind of cool, to have a new character and whatnot. But from the previews that I saw back in the days and whatnot, like when he was like hanging out with Muscle Man and stuff like that, I thought like, oh man, he's probably like not gonna be that cool and whatnot. But he turned out pretty well, at least in the beginning. I remember they were like, he was hanging out with Mordecai and Rigby and whatnot, and they were like having like face freezes and whatnot. Not the kind that SpongeBob had, hopefully not, but it just seemed, I don't know, like stuff like that just seems like something I would probably do and whatnot with my friends. Just silly stuff like that. I also like how later in the seasons and whatnot they would just like since the characters were more developed and whatnot, they would go into like deeper topics like Rigby going to like high school and like getting his diploma and whatnot. I thought that was pretty cool and whatnot, seeing that. Also, I did see the movie for this show and it was pretty good. I liked it, I don't know, it didn't really change too much. It was just kind of them like going to the past and then going to the future and stuff like that, time travel and such. But I did like seeing their past selves and them interacting together. I thought that was really cool, and it was just an overall good ride. All of them back together, taking a group photo and whatnot to end it off, I thought was pretty cool. If you ask me, I'd say the series ended pretty well in my opinion, having 8 seasons, a movie, and that 3-part series finale was pretty epic and whatnot in my opinion. And speaking about that series finale, I remember it said like the little scene from the Power, the very first episode and whatnot. And then like it kind of like changed it and whatnot near the end and whatnot. Oh my gosh, I say that word way too many times, but I did like that. I thought it was pretty cool and whatnot how they transitioned to that and whatnot. I thought that was pretty cool. I also like how they did the whole pilot thing. Like I remember I saw it too actually when it was on YouTube and whatnot. What was it called again? It was the Pops pilot, and I remember I saw 2 in the AM PM. I think that's what it was called. I remember I saw that. That was kind of funny. It was like Mordecai and Benson kind of, but they were like hallucinating and stuff like that. They were like on drugs and stuff like that. A pretty odd premise for like a pilot, for a kid's show and whatnot, but I guess that's where it got its kind of like edgier type of themes at. Not to say that they do that in the actual show and whatnot, but still though, I thought it was pretty funny. But I liked how they showed like little stuff like storyboard parts and whatnot as the whole universe was like messing up and like breaking apart and stuff like that. I thought that was pretty cool. But I don't know, like the ending itself, like it ended pretty well, with Pops, in heaven, just watching, the characters like grow up and whatnot, which I thought was pretty cool. I like seeing them, a little older, even if they are, I'm not gonna say like old, just like older than most cartoon characters, like, well, or at least most main duo characters, I should say, from other cartoons and whatnot. But it was still pretty cool to see them, with different designs and like, different clothes and all that stuff. But as far as the series as a whole goes, I'd say it was pretty good. I wouldn't, change a thing about it. It was really good. I'd probably give it like a 9 out of 10. Not completely perfect, but really good, and whatnot. Just a chill, nice, regular show, honestly. But if I did have to quote Pops, I would have to say it was a jolly good show. Tell me what you guys thought of this show, though. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What was your favorite episode? I don't know what mine is, honestly. I mean, there were a lot. I remember they had that baby duck episode where like the baby ducks and they turned into like that big like hawk, like eagle looking thing with like the bird face and like the human body and whatnot. I thought that was pretty cool and stuff like that. And the zombie episode where they were fighting them off and all that other stuff. I don't know, like there's like lots of memories with this show. I can't really pick one and whatnot, but just tell me what you guys think. What was your least favorite episode? I think that would be a better decision there. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. And until the next one, Silver Sun is out.